Exactly.
We need to be on stage. Hi, everyone.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
We are
sorry.
live. Took us a little headache there. Is it a
Yeah.
split
So
screen?
this
Okay.
means that it's if somebody's watching on their phone, so you need to be centered
Oh,
there,
okay.
and then I'll squeeze in
Okay.
right there. So if you're on our system, it has long and then short. So
Okay. All right. We are live. This is How to Build Your Own Home every Thursday, and welcome to a brand new year. We're excited for this year. We have a lot of students wanting to be owner builders this year, getting a lot of comments, questions, you name it. Let's go ahead and do a couple housekeeping things.
Can we just ask, how was your holiday? How was your Christmas? Yeah. How are you doing? And tell us where you're at in building your home this year. Like, where are you at? I know some of our students, they have walls going up, windows going in, some are foundations. Tell us in the comments where you're at so we can share.
Yes, please do that. And I'm trying to open up emails because I have a lot of questions from students. I want to get into some of those. A couple of housekeeping things real quick that I wanted to just reiterate. We haven't raised our prices. We're not raising our prices on our courses. Mm-hmm. We've been the same price ever since we started, right?
No, our first month, it was a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, a little
bit. But it wasn't that long. It wasn't for very long. So
we just keep the prices. They're very, very affordable. If you're wanting to owner build and you're not using the program, you're going to get lost. You'll make mistakes because it's organized. It helps you understand the flow, has the budget. That's just the best budget out there alone. So many students have said that budget made all the So, and again, students ask me, can I upgrade to the self-managed course? I go, sure you can. Take the First Steps course, and at the end of that course, there's a coupon code for the self-managed course. Use that coupon code and it will go a long ways for you. A couple of things. Let's get a couple of questions from some students that came through email, and I promised them that I would answer their questions so that they couldn't be here at live chat. They wanted to be able to just dial in later on. So I want to get those out of the way real quickly here. So the first one here is from a student, and her question, her name's Cora, and she says, hello, Keith. My name is Cora. My partner, Mark, and I are both 24 years old and renting an apartment. Our dream is to build our own home and homestead here in Utah, preferably anywhere south of Utah County. Anything south of Utah County is pretty good. Okay. On a bit of land. We are young and completely new to this whole process, but wanted to know what we can do now to get us started on this path. We have no money saved and no plans yet. So we want to make sure that once we start to go down this path, we are doing everything correctly and with the guidance from the very beginning. We would love to hear your advice or thoughts as to where to start and what should you do. Really, really good question. Okay. Don't let not having a savings put a dent in owner building. The first home that we built, we really didn't have much of a savings. Yeah. I went to the to the owner of the land and asked him if he would subordinate it to me. Now, what does that mean? It means that I don't have to pay for that land until the end of the construction. All he wanted was $5,000 down, which I used as part of the loan. So when I qualified for a loan, I then told them how much the land was going to be, and they wanted me to come up with close to 20% down. Well, the home that we built for like 145,000, roughly in that ballpark. Well, his subordinating the land to the bank during the course of construction was that 20% down. So I really basically built the home with no money down. So I'm not saying it works that way with everybody, but what I'm saying is I don't want you to get discouraged and thinking you can't do it. There's always a way. And now that the economy is kind of unsteady, people are not really buying homes, and land is going to come available. You've got to keep your eye out for it. And when you see it, you have to be able to know that you can move on and ask questions. The second thing I'd recommend Okay. And I could talk forever on that, but I wanted to keep it really simple. Focus on your credit and focus on finding a land, and then go to a bank and see what you qualify for based upon your income. But again, keep yourself out of debt. That home is your ticket for equity increase, and also your ticket for wealth preservation. So
Can
think
I
about
just
that.
can I just say something real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to say that Keith and I were both teachers, and he had student loan debt, and we had credit card debt, we had medical bills, we were in debt, big numbers, and we were both teachers. We were hardly making any money. Like, I think I was like $5 an hour. It was pretty sad. And we just focused, and we were able to get rid of $10,000 in debt in 1 year by focusing. And we put our debts, we lined them all out, all the names, all the totals, the payments. And then we got into a competition. We put it on the fridge, and we each took 3 debts that we were going to try and pay off, and we put a goal next to them. And then we started competing who was going to pay off those debts first. And we got so creative. We didn't eat out. We got creative eating at home, and we had 2 kids. And so you can do it if you want to. There's so many more ways you can sell things and earn money these days than back in the 90s.
Yeah.
So that's my 2 cents.
One more question, because I wanted to get these out of the way. This is from Edwin, and he says, hi, does this formula just calculate direct construction cost, or does this include design costs as well? That has to do with the formula in the First Steps course. It's the 3rd module, and that module helps you identify the real cost per square foot in your particular market. And I responded back to him. The best way I can respond back is to say that if the formula is done right, and you eventually, in the formula, it helps you eliminate builder fees and realtor fees. Once you eliminate those 2 fees, you get to the real cost per square foot, because you will be eliminating those fees from the build of your own home. And this is something that owner builders don't realize, that if you buy a home on the market from a regular developer or builder, you're going to be paying realtor fees roughly 6%, and you're going to be paying builder fees not less than 10%, closer to 10 to 15%. So when it's all said and done, at least 20% of that home is being knocked out. That's how powerful owner building is. You're eliminating those costs from the top line of the cost of a new home. And that's how powerful owner building is. So make sure that when you do that formula, you do it right, you do it patiently, and you do it at least 3 times. When you go through that course, it will walk you through that. Go through that module 3 times at the very least, and it will give you a good ratio as to where your cost per square foot is going to be in your particular market. Okay, well, we're really behind. Let's take some questions here. I'm going to let my wife find them. We'll go to the first one here. Okay. We're on a small laptop right now.
We're out of town.
And I'm going to let my wife read that.
I can't read it.
You can't read that?
No. Okay. Happy New Year. Have you seen problems with the banks when you have over 10 acres? We have 30 acres, and thank God we have a local bank that does not see it as a problem, and it's Ponco City, Oklahoma. I have heard, sorry, we're gonna have to go back and forth. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to get this. So I have heard things about too much land over an acre. Some banks are causing, having issues with it, but I always tell everybody, go to a local bank. They always know your area. They're always willing to do more. And I just had a call today. She's looking at 21 acres. And so I gave her 3 local banks that I know that we've done land with. And local banks. And I don't know, I've never had it with a credit union though. I've never had a land loan with a credit union. It's usually been a local bank. Hope that helps.
Yeah, it could be an issue only if that land is in a flood zone, or if that land isn't zoned for residential construction. It could be agriculture, which means that you have to change the zoning first before you can qualify to build a home on it. Those are hiccups. They will actually do a title search and a record search and look on the county maps and the city maps, and they'll say, I can't loan on this until it's approved to be built on. So these are things you might have to deal with down the line. So just find out, Go to a permitting office, go to a county zoning office, community development office, and they will tell you what you can and cannot do on the land, and then you might have to change that zoning. So, good question.
Okay, I just want to do a shout out. This is Kim Winter. They're going to start March 16th. Hey, that's right after my birthday.
Okay, here we go.
Can you read? I don't know what we're going to do.
We both had terrible eyesight.
How many inches of mineral wool board will protect fire vulnerable material? I thought about a SIP, but they appear to be made of tinderbox material.
Yeah, really good question. An inch is nice. I do 1.5 inches. I will be doing a lot of videos on a rigid mineral wool being applied to two large cabins in just weeks from now. In fact, we start installing on one of the homes this next week. So I'll be doing a lot of videos on that. So stay tuned for that. But that's a good question. 1.5 inches. But keep in mind, if you go more than 1 inch, you have to flash the windows, because that insulation is going to come past the typical window and you're going to see it. So you have to flash that window. 1 inch will take you flush with the window. Anything beyond that, you've got to flash it. And I will show you that flashing on these jobs that are coming up. Okay, good question.
This is incredible. Wow, Scott.
Hello, guys. After 21 long months, we have finally received a permit from the county. We are in the self-managed program. I look forward to using your tools. Great.
We are excited to finally have you guys get going.
So we don't need to read it there. We just read it there. Okay, very good. Okay. Okay, next question. Hello. Hope you all had a happy new year. We did. Tuning in Waxhaw, North Carolina. I have a question. Why, if I ask the question on Friday, no one answers until live on Thursday, and sometimes I cannot come in live?
Oh.
Just ask your question, and if you're in the program, go contact the instructor and send your question in, and I'll print those up and I'll save them on my phone. I'll answer those first, so you come to live chat and you get your answers answered. Your questions answered.
Yeah, that's the route we go. We do the students' questions in the course, and Discord, not even as well in Discord. Sorry, Discord, but we are on top of it now. Holidays are over. Yeah. But YouTube, we do get a lot of questions from even older videos. So it's hard to get to all of them because we are working all the time, but we are working and trying to do the best we can.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're on Discord, that's where you help each other out and you ask questions to the community and others help each other. It's a great resource for that. Mm-hmm. But I respond mostly through live chat here. Okay, cool. Look good, man. Okay, Happy New Year. Okay. I have to install a grinder sewage pump. Okay. My options are in the ground pump that sits in your yard, or to install a basement type that would be placed in concrete in the crawl space. What is best? Really, really good question. If you're in a freezing environment, you might want to go in the crawl space. I'm not a fan of grinder stations and grinder pumps. That's where you might want to have a backup generator, because if power goes off, your sewer shuts down. You can't use anything at all. So if you have an opportunity for backup power, that's a big plus. I've installed those outside the home. I've also installed them with inside the home. The latest one I did, we did it outside, and those grinder pumps push the sludge through about 1.5 inches of pipe, and they just push it through, and they're very powerful. But again, they're electrically powered. So you might want to think about some backup power. If you have dirty power in your area that goes off and on, or it is prone to go off entirely for a long period of time, because if you go a half a day without sewer, it just starts to back up real quick. People don't know how dependent they are on a nice sewer drain system in their home. So think about that. Okay, good question.
That's all the questions for now.
I wanted to talk. I have a post coming out next week. It's on market analysis and thinking forward for 2026. It's very, very detailed. I just did it from the hip, but I've been thinking about a lot of these things for quite some time. And please stay tuned to it. I'll give you a couple of primers right now. that I want you to think about, okay? And it has to do with market volatility. We are going to see a lot of market volatility in 2026. I can't tell you what's going to necessarily come, but I can tell you that right now, for example, oil is down. Guess what's up? Silver, 1 ounce of silver is worth more than a barrel of oil right now. That is unheard of. So what does that tell you? It's called a flight to safety. So when people have wealth, they want to preserve their wealth. They don't want to lose the purchasing power of their dollar. So they'll move it into something that's going to hold or increase its value over time. And what will happen eventually is a lot of movement into real estate. So I think that this is just me speaking. I'm not telling you where to put your money, and I have no certification to be a financial advisor. But I see an opportunity to buy land this year. Mm-hmm. At some point, if there's volatility and there is a market correction, and right now we need a market correction because it's going to spurn a lot of growth. Sadly, those who are on the opposite side of that correction lose out on it. But if you're preparing to build a home and you're an owner builder and you're looking for land, we've already seen some questions related to that. I would, and this is my gut feeling, if I was in your shoes, I'd just be patient. Be patient with that opportunity to buy land. Here, you want to be caught buying land when it's most opportune for you. So that's just the best advice. It's a little primer of what I talked about. It will come out next Tuesday, and it's all just a projection for 2026. And having been through this before, I just giving you my best experience and my wife's best experience. Okay, yeah. Let's take some questions.
There's
here.
Just another one.
Okay, we'll go to that one. FYI, got an unsolicited email from my lumber supplier today with a $3,000 cut to the lumber package and a cut from the framer. It's a great time to build. That's exactly what I talk about in the market projection. Too many people look at interest rates, and it's the worst thing to look at. It's like quality time cost, and everybody's focusing on one aspect of cost, interest rate, but they're not looking at laborers now really flatlined, and it's crashing. A lot of laborers are looking for work, and I'm getting calls, and I'm in a high build area, and I'm getting a lot of emails and a lot of calls, people looking for work. That's what as long as your employment is stable, your income is stable, and those aren't going to change, then it's a great time to capitalize on. And I just got this. I get a lumber package, and I went to a box store because I was building a home for a family member, and again, they gave us a discount. So think about this. Think about these opportunities that are out there. They're all over the place, and most people don't. This is the best wisdom I can give you. Wealthy people look for crashes. They look for down cycles. They look for market corrections because that's when they buy in. And when they buy in at that time, then they're looking for the bottom dollar to spend, not the high dollar to be raped of. So think about this. This is a really, really wonderful opportunity down the road, but you just have to be smart. You have to know your cookies and know what's going on in the market. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, any experience with Murphy bed orders? Thinking about a bedroom wall. You want to respond to that? We have a local company in town.
Yeah, so we do have a local company in town. It's called Wilding Wall Beds. He started out of his garage, and he's just grown, and now he's national. I don't know if he's international, but they have really good high quality beds, wall beds, and you can have a desk. We haven't installed any. Oh, did
I've
you
been-
do it over at Sandy's?
I've done one at Sandy's. I've done 2 of them in 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Just look up Wilding wall beds. They're located here.
In St. George, Utah.
They will ship them, and they will organize the situation to have them installed for you. But just check them out. They've got a good hardware. I haven't had any problems with them. But yeah, wall beds are really, really a popular thing for tiny homes, condensed space, that kind of thing. Especially if you have an ADU, and that's what I did a remodel for her. And the ADU was limited in space. She wanted to use it for kind of a den, a place to study, but she had a wall bed there, and then it just comes down for guests. So it's a really, really good. Look up Wilding wall beds. Okay, let's get this one here. Completely agree. Great time to be shopping land and building a home. Yes, it is. That's a great opportunity. Okay, let's get this one here. Scott. Can I buy a list of contacts from you? I'm in Logandale, Nevada. That's a really good question. For those students that do the consulting with me, they get all that as part of the package if you do that consulting with me. I don't have a lot of subs in Nevada. I have a couple that are licensed there, but not many. I used to build in Mesquite, and I had a list of a lot of them down there, but I haven't been building in that particular area for quite some time. But you can go to a general contractor and say, hey, I knew here's a way that I can buy a list of great subs that you recommend. And I have an excavator in town that he would charge $500, and he would give you the excavator, the plumber, the gas person, the shotcrete person, the finish coat for a pool. And you'd have all the different subcontractors to build a pool. And he would just charge $500 for that. And he would still sell half a dozen of those a year every time. So ask a general contractor if they would be willing to do that, and ask somebody with a lot of experience that builds at least 8 homes or more a year, not just a one-off guy who does a spec home once in a while. You want to know someone who's really in the thick of it, that does at least a half a dozen builds a year. Okay.
That would be a good idea to network, because there's a couple of our people on that always comment on our lives that are general contractors. Mm-hmm. We should put a list together. I'm thinking of you, Brady. Why don't we get a list of people that we can refer people across the country?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll start that, figure it out.
Okay. Next one here. We're going to be building a mill suite with our home. Mother-in-law. Okay. Okay. At what point of the build can we start building that, you think? Our county requires we have the primary home mostly constructed before starting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a really good question. I had a student reach out to me, and they wanted to do the apartment first, and then they wanted to live in the apartment and then build the home. Some jurisdictions may look down on that, because if most of the homes in the neighborhood are all built out and you've got a little casita on yours, they don't have a guarantee that you're going to finish that off. So they may ask you to build the home first. In either case, it wouldn't be bad to have 2 permits and split it up. That way you can control the cost of the build over time rather than do it all at the same time. Unless mother-in-law has some money and is able to chip in on it, then she covers the cost for that, and you cover the cost for the main home. And then you have an agreement that, and I did this for my parents. I wrote a contract for my parents. They can stay in my home, in my place, as long as they are alive, as long as they want to. But I had to control some other things. So think about that. Learn to engage in contract. That's what a general contractor is. You engage. There it is.
There. It's just slow today.
Oh, there we go. Is it also a good time for building for others?
Yep.
Yeah, if their income, if there is a good income, if they're a stable income. Okay, next one. There we go. Hello, Keith. Have you spoken about existing easements on their property? That's a good question. I've had several students deal with this, and I really want to just focus on two things. Easements are recorded differently. Okay. Sometimes they're recorded on the land, sometimes they're recorded on the plat, meaning the subdivision plat. And a lot of times they're never looked at both. And I've run into headaches where easements were recorded on the plat, meaning the subdivision plat for the county, but they were not recorded individually on the lot. And so the utility company will say, oh, we've got an easement, and then they will know where their easement's at and where it's recorded, but you can't see it recorded on your parcel. So just make sure that you have a title agent that's actually researching all the different places where it could be recorded. And if it's recorded on the plat, it's in a simple descriptive in a little paragraph somewhere way over here, and you may not see that. And is it legal? Yeah, that's the issue. If it's been used and others have been using it as the standard for all the other easements in the subdivision, and it passes muster that way, yeah, people can have a standing on that. So just be careful with easements. A lot of times I was talking with a student, the utility company didn't have an easement. It wasn't recorded, but they were claiming it. And as a result, if that easement wasn't properly recorded, that homeowner, I believe, got the utility company to put in a drive for them so that they could save the easement that they needed for their utility company. So look through that. Be very careful and ask a title company to really help research that stuff for you. Okay. Good question.
We should have them the crayon.
Yeah, we should have them the crayon.
We can do a video. That's a great idea. We'll have that. I'll work on that.
Yeah. Maybe we can do a trade. Kim says, what was the name of the material you showed on a video for sealing along the footing and the outside wall? It looked like it was a fabric. I'm going to be doing another post on it. I ran into this really interesting story. I went into a product for you, and I want you to try it. So it's in my truck. I put it in my garage. So I'm actually going to be using a new product for that next week. So that video will come out in about 3 weeks. So hold your belt buckle.
Hopefully you don't need it right away. Yeah. Where are you in your house?
Yeah, let us
building situation.
Yeah, let us know where you are always, and then where you're building. But if you can hold on for about 3 weeks, I'll give you that information. I don't have it right now. But
we haven't tried it.
But I haven't tried it.
We have it at the house.
But I do know that it can expand up to 27%. So that's pretty cool. All right, sounds great. Let's go to the next one here. This is from Andrea
Manigot, 16.
16. Okay. It said my other question was good long. How much is one-to-one
mentorship?
Mentorship, and will you come to North Carolina?
I want to come to North Carolina.
I want to come to North Carolina.
Come to North Carolina. Yes, I want to come.
Yeah, the consulting is around $11,000, and that's having access to me during the entire course of the build. Many conference calls. We go over the architectural before you even go into the actual engineering of the home, catching a lot of stuff. I'm really good at that, and then I go over your budget. And then during the course of the build, you text me any questions you have, FaceTime, that kind of stuff. I had a woman that was 68 and she did it all by herself in a very, very difficult build area in Los Angeles. And if she can do it, and it was a lot of babying through the process, anyone can do it. And then of course, just a 1 hour consulting, and that's available. And that's just $300.
Just go to How to Build Your Own Home. And in the courses, up at the top right, it says courses. Then it has all our programs and our one-to-one.
Yeah.
So if you just go there, you can check it out.
So if you want that additional help, that's great. It's there. It's available. Okay. Well, we're getting behind here.
No, we're not. We're doing great.
Scroll up there. Are you familiar with Selby Insulation out of Cedar? Talked to Bob, and he was very helpful and informative, and he will work in Logandale. Yeah, that's fine.
Great.
Check with him. If you're in Logandale, check with Sun Pro. They've got a great a truss yard, and they manufacture truss, and they go throughout the Intermountain West. So check with them for that, and they also have a good resource for installation. There's a lot of good insulators in this particular area, so that's great. I'm not familiar with them.
Hershey insulation is good too.
Yeah, Hershey's insulation. Foundation on March 16th. That is exciting.
Okay, so they're gonna need. Okay. That's for the products you wanted.
Building Group Paradise, 2596. Cool. We had the same issue with building in Central Florida. We had 10 acres, wanted to build smaller home first until we could afford to build the full house.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Start small so you can build.
Okay. Country wouldn't let us until primary was complete. And then a unit could be 50% size of primary. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's interesting. 50% of primary.
Yeah.
I'll let you do that. Thanks, you guys, for all you do. Your course and these lives have been very helpful and has helped me feel more confident about this process. Great. We're happy for you.
Currently in design.
Yes.
Can we use this? Please let me know if I can use that. I'm gonna do a screenshot right here.
Yeah, my wife is.
I'm not on my computer, so
She's on my computer. My wife is using my computer. It'll go to this desktop. There it is, right there.
Okay, I just want to do it more technical. You keep talking while I'm doing technical stuff. Okay. Oh, hopefully I got that. Okay.
Yeah, it did.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna put you on. That's one thing we're trying to do that I haven't been, and this is my goal for 2026, is that I need to gather all your guys' testimonials and just share them and let people know. So if you want to send in a testimonial, I would appreciate it.
Yeah.
And that's my goal to get.
You go to How to Build Your Own Home in Google and you leave a testimonial there. That's a great place to do that. Google. Helps with our all that kind of stuff. Thanks for the information. You're welcome. And thanks again for the stuff there. We've got we're at a party here. We're going to probably end it there. If you have any questions, save them for next week or message through the platform. We're going to be available for you. Again, we're excited this next year. Look for a lot of posts coming out. We're going to talk about the finances and stuff next week that's going to come out, a whole year projection. But keep in mind, it's going to be a volatile year. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be points that you wish, oh my gosh, I wish I wasn't doing this right now. But keep in mind, you're grabbing good costs in materials, great costs in labor. A lot of people are hungry, and those two factors are bigger than interest rates right now. Okay, just keep that in mind. The only thing that's most important is that you are stable in your income and that you're not building a home more than 28% of your total gross income in the year. If you're exceeding that, you can be in a little trouble. That's a good financial, stable number that a lot of people have honed in on, that you shouldn't be building or shouldn't be in a home greater than 28%.
Good day.
Goodbye.